right, you ready for this lineup? There is, what do we got? We got brand new music, kind of pop psych, I would have to say. There is garage punk. I have today funk. I have early rock and roll. Yeah, me, early rock and roll. I have some country and some blues. We're covering the bases. Let's do this. Welcome and good morning to another early morning Sunday show. And won't you be my subscriber? Yeah. For those of you that have been around a long time, you know I used to have a Mr. Rogers intro. That's actually pretty good. And I do have it saved. I do need to bring that out again. So, yeah, this is back when I had my first collection before the flood. And we came in doing Mr. Rogers. Yeah, it's a classic. So, but I still have my Mr. Rogers rug. So, there we go. And part of the song was, won't you be my subscriber? But we got a lot to do, so I'm not going to really blab because there's like some extras. I finished this book, 1973 Rock, and a Rock at the Crossroads. And it just looks at 1973 by month at the different albums that came out, what they meant. Also looks at things politically, what was happening. Yay, Richard Nixon, impeachment, I got caught, I another crook. Well, that's all in there, but it does look at a lot of the key albums. You know, Elton John. You know, we had Iggy Pop, David Bowie, Led Zeppelin, Aretha Franklin. A lot of big stuff. Really interesting book. Really nice. I found this used and really enjoyed it. Even goes into Leonard Skinner and Funkadelic. Has it all. Good book. Had this come in, I ordered this. I have been trying to find a decent price on this. Finally did. This is the Rhino compilation of the 90s. And yes, coffee beans because, you know, Starbucks. So the 90s pop culture box. It is a 7 CD set. You know, these are got several different CDs in there. There's that one there. And it has a wonderful book that goes through each and every CD and what's the group in there. Just a little brief what's happening with the songs and stuff. Very, very nice. I have the 70s. I have the 80s. I needed this one back in because it's just absolutely fantastic. I love these. This is, of all of them, this is the one I listen to the least, but still needed it. You know, Stereolab, Bikini Bill, Ash, Sublime's on here, Bare Naked Ladies, Sleater Kenny, The Cardigans, De La Soul, Big Head Todd and the Monsters, Belly, Stereo MCs, Green Jelly, Reverend Horton Heat. You can just see it's everything. Ministries on here, Right Said Fred, because I'm too sexy for my shirt. They Might Be Giants, Sinead O'Connor, EMF, Black Crows. Yeah, rap, everything's there. Really, really good. And I got in this CD, has never come out in album form, Blind Boys of Alabama, Spirit of the Century. Again, I used to have this. When my father passed, this got me through it. This got me through. It was so uplifting, so spiritual. It was just the most fantastic thing. You know, I don't have a lot of gospel. Nothing beats this in my book. It is very uplifting. I just absolutely love it. Blind Boys of Alabama. Incredible music. Man, so happy to have this because this means more than most any kind of album. Really did a lot. Needed on vinyl. So that's that's the non-album stuff. So let's do albums, okay? Why not? And we're going to start with Dummy. Dummy. Kind of a fun name, huh? You can go up to someone, hey, what's that say? Dummy. Oh, yeah, right. Okay, and it's Free Energy is the name of this. This is a group out of LA formed around 2020. Indie pop. They've done 2 albums and 2 EPs. And Free Energy kind of has this psych pop feel to it. It is, we got here, there's your inner sleeve. And it's very black vinyl. And all right. So yeah, this is really good. It's kind of free floating and airy, music, but yet it's packed with this kind of pummeling shoegaze guitar happening in there and electronics. Their influences are My Bloody Valentine and Stereolab, and you hear both of them in here. They are there. It's really cool. Now the second song is Soonish, and I think I'm going to play a sample of that. And it just kind of floats along very nicely, but at the end there's just this flourish of noise. It's out comes that My Bloody Valentine type guitars and just start going like this wall of sound happening. Opaline Bubble Tear. Opaline Bubble Tear. I think one of these people was a physics major. They actually used different things from physics in this, but kind of a spacey ambient kind of a start, and then just saxophones and synths are in there playing, and then suddenly it just breaks into a dreamy pop song. Really, really beautiful stuff. There's two vocalists. One is Emma Matam, possibly, and Nathan Odell, and they trade off doing vocals, and they each they fit the songs to the vocals, and they do a really, really nice job with that. Another really good song starts off on side 2 is Dip in the Lake, and it just has these gorgeous synths with this gentle piano samples going on and guitar. I'll play you a sample of that. So there's some harder stuff, but also some very gentle and nice things. This came out last year, so it missed out on being on my possible top 10 albums. Then we go to this. Steve Harold. I learned about this group from Steve Harold's channel. Check out his channel. He does CDs. He's a CD guy. But he talked about this group, the Boomerang. And I think I paid $27.99 for this, possibly. And I said the Boomerang, it's called The Darts. The name of the group is The Darts, and the name of the album is Boomerang. And this is a all-female group formed in 2016, and it's garage rock and kind of a garage rock noise band. There's definitely punk in there. Really good stuff. Exciting vinyl on there, and yet there is even more if it will come out. Come to me. Here we go. It's lyrics. Okay, yeah, lyrics. So you can sing along. Always a good thing. So, it's on this album, I guess they add some soul. This is their 4th album, Boomerang, and it's my first from them. Again, I heard from Steve. But they add some soul, but when you think of Detroit Cobras or even the Dirt Bombs, that kind of soul. So it's still rocking hard, coming at you right in your face. Really good stuff. There's plenty of fuzzy garage organ happening on this. There's the song Hang Around. I'll play a sample of that. Kind of a 60s garage psych type vibe to it. And there's just some great harmonies happening. These gals can really harmonize. Your Side was another one, kind of has a desert psych soul vibe to it. And I'll give you a sample of that one also. I mean, it just, on that song, there's this bass that just weaves in and out and sounds absolutely outstanding. This album gets better with each listen. When I first listened to it, it was good. I liked it. With each listen, I liked it more and more. It really, really rocks. Steve Harrell just went back and bought a bunch of CDs of their earlier stuff. So there we have it. The Darts Boomerang. Pretty cool stuff. I had some VCLT come in from my Freddie. We're short on time. From my friend Bill at the Vinylverse. Bill is in Philadelphia. Bill and me have been doing in the VC for about the same amount of time. Bill doesn't make too many videos anymore. He has a family. He has kids. I have no kids, so you get a whole hell of a lot more videos. But during COVID, I met Bill. I was traveling to see my son at DC, so I went through Philadelphia to meet Bill. And so Bill and I, we've been trading albums for years now. He sent me this. Arvo Pärt? It looks like part. But yeah, this is, I guess, he's a Estonian composer. I have, and the name of the album is Tabula Rasa. I have that on my phone. I have been looking for this song forever. Now I have CD of it, kind of greatest hits of Arvo Pärt, and I love that CD. I love it. Well, I lost it, but I have a few things I've saved. I taped, from Apple. But Tabula Rasa, beautiful, great stuff. Again, I will show more and we'll play more of it, but that's a wonderful album, Bill. And as fate has it, he sent me a Blind Boys of Alabama album. Isn't that something? This is a new one from 2023 that they did. So a lot of the people in the group have changed. Actually, they've gotten, obviously there's some of the same ones in there, and there's the other ones, and yes, they are blind. But I was like, wow. Pretty cool. I hit the CD, and then Bill just knows what to get. He's really good. So Bill, thank you very much. Bill from the Vinylverse, please check out his channel, sub to it. You're not going to get bombarded with videos, but when he does them, it's really good. And if you like prog, if you like Genesis, you're going to love Bill. All right, moving on. Eramus Hall. Eramus Hall, Lost and Found. This is from Record Store Day back in the fall. I don't know. I've showed almost none of my record store days from the fall yet. Yeah, there's a backlog there of stuff. Happens. There's smoky vinyl. And Eramus Hall is a very obscure soul funk group. But if you have originals of their albums, you're going to get a whole lot of money because they are very rare, and they were done by Westbound in Detroit. Eramus Hall, the name came from George Clinton because he was working with them, producing them, and it's a building in Chicago. So he named them after a building in Chicago. How funky is that? Maybe that's why I didn't sell. Eramus Hall's like, yeah, man, that's fun. I don't know, but fun cover. I've lost my head. Just, which head do you want to have here? So this here, they released the two albums, 1980, 1984, then pretty much broke up. Lost and Found is rarities and unreleased gems. I really wish they had released one of their albums, but that's okay. This is rarities and unreleased gems, and so that's all I have. This definitely has a groove to it, but yet there's a lot of smooth soul sounds in here, and a lot of tight jazz funk. You're going to get that feeling in it. So kind of a variety of different things happening on here. But there's also just this great electric piano happening. That's really, really nice. Yeah, still got a heck of a throat. This is just, they do add in some strings here and there, which to me you don't need. When they're at their best, they're just doing their funk. And their funk is fantastic. I really like it a lot. So not bad. This is very inexpensive record store day. If you hear the sample and you like it, there's no doubt you can find that out there. And get down there and dance to the music. And when you dance to our music, we put you in the mood, in the mood. Come on, everybody, yeah. And dance, 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 dance. Then we're going to some early rock and roll from the Honey Hole. I think these might have been from someone else's collection. They're a little more beat up. But we have Bo Diddley, and Bo Diddley have Guitar Will Travel. How about just Bo Diddley, self-titled? How about maybe Bo Diddley's A Twister, and then Bo Diddley, Another Dimension, because my friend JT up in Traverse City said, "Hey man, you left that Bo Diddley Another Dimension there." So, well, when I went back, I picked that up. So 4 Bo Diddleys. 3 of these are originals, which are kind of cool. You know, Bo Diddley, born in Mississippi. His real name was Elias Otha Bates. Elias Otha Bates. How about that for a name? And he's done 24 albums. Born in 28, died in 08. His mother was 16 years old when he was born. So she gave Elias Otha Bates to her cousin. And her cousin's name was Gussie McDaniel. So thus he picked up McDaniel as his last name. And 34, he would have been like 6 years old. They moved to Chicago. In Chicago, he studied trombone. He studied the violin. But at church, you've seen people play the guitar, and he really, really wanted to play the guitar, and that's what he learned to play. Then he'd go down to Maxwell Street, and John Lee Hooker would be down on Maxwell Street, and he really inspired him to, become a bluesman. So kind of, but Bo Diddley has that, not necessarily blues, it's like rock and roll and blues kind of mixing together, all right? Definitely much more pop than a Muddy Waters or a Howlin' Wolf, as you will hear in the samples. So Bo Diddley has A Twister. This one came out in 1962. I think I mentioned he did have 24 albums. These definitely are not in perfect shape. They don't skip. There's some, once in a while you will get some crackles. This one's pretty good. It does not have inner sleeves though. Not too bad. There's a little bit of wear there, but overall from 62. Then from 62 he also did Bo Diddley. And on here, we have Mr. Khrushchev. How about that? Okay. We have Diddling, Give Me a Break. Bo's Bounce. This one's probably the roughest, and it was the least expensive of all of them. Off Checker. And there's definitely some scratches and stuff. So you get a little more pops. The cover's not quite as good as the other ones. We have Bo Diddley's Twister. And actually, Twister came out in 1962. Have Guitar Will Travel. That was from 1960. So that was, I showed that one first. That one's from 60. This was from 62 along with Bo Diddley. And She's All Right's on here. Roadrunner, he does. The Twister. Hey, Bo Diddley. Then also Bo Diddley. He'd like to use his names in songs a lot. And this one, there we go. The vinyl's pretty good on this one. It's not bad at all. Yeah, it's actually really good shape, again, on Checker. So we have that. And then the final one. This is a repress. But and this is Another Dimension that came out in 1971. And I'll just talk a little bit more about this because this was the attempt to try to connect Bo Diddley with a younger audience, which later on, Electric Mud came out for Muddy Waters. So that's what they're trying to do. Get him, so there's a lot of covers on here. There's 3 covers from Creedence Clearwater Revival. There is a band cover. There's an Elton John cover on here, Al Cooper. But he also has a couple originals. He does one called Pollution. Think about it. Marvin Gaye was coming out with What's Going On, okay, about ecology and pollution. Well, Bo Diddley does one about pollution. Okay. All right. Well, you know what? He gave that a shot, and it just didn't work out. This album did not do too well. His covers, they're some of them. He's not Creedence Clearwater Revival. Let's face it. He does from the band The Shape I'm In. I Love You More Than You'll Ever Know by Al Cooper. Bad Moon Rising. Down on the Corner and Lodi, or all from Creedence. Go for Broke from Jay Burgundy, and then Bad Side of the Moon from Elton John. And a couple originals. So, yeah, it's okay. It's not your typical Bo Diddley. Shall we say the Bo Diddley beat kind of disappeared on that one, and I don't think it did too well.
Down the street, the love in me, it just came to be. Baby, 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 no more, oh, no more. I can tell. Love me no more. I see your mama and your bride with a pistol and a sword by her side. She rolled right up to my front door, knocked till the fist got sore. When she turned and walked away,
moving on to country. As I said, we're going to do country. Johnny Cash, American Recordings, coming out in 1994. Wow, this album blew me away when it came out. And I was very happy for Johnny Cash when this came. I think vinyl tag, is there an artist you miss? For the most part, an artist dies, I'm not getting too shook up. This one bummed me out a little bit when Johnny Cash died. Was I a huge Cash fan? No. But these were bringing him back, and he had just had that video, The Hurt, and you could feel it, and his wife had just died in June, and so, yeah. But, Johnny Cash, he had this problem. He was this living legend. He was beloved by so many people, but nobody bought his new music. They were all stuck back in the 60s. So he couldn't get anywhere. And he was just struggling. He was depressed. Nothing was going right for him. And along comes Rick Rubens. And Rick Rubens took him and Johnny, and they went to his shack, shall we say. He had a cabin. And they went in there with just Johnny and his guitar. And Rubens gave him a couple different songs. There's a lot of Cash originals in here, but also he records some Tom Waits. He records some Glenn Danzig. Think about it, Waits and Danzig. He does. And Delilah's Gone's on here, just blows your mind. Bird on a Wire, it's fantastic. I'm going to play you one of his songs, Redemption. Beautiful song. It's just The Beast in Me is on here. He just took those songs and made them his own. It's just incredible what he did. It just shows the power of Cash when someone believed in him and let Johnny be Johnny. just, yeah, phenomenal album. I have the box set. It's just that they're all separated, and so yeah, I'm buying the album so I could have them how they originally were done.
From the tree streamed the light that started the fight. Round the tree grew a vine on whose fruit I could dine. My old friend Lucifer came, fought to keep me in chains, but I saw through the tricks of 666.
Final one, some blues. Johnny Young and his Chicago Blues Band. And this album came out in 1966. On here, there is James Cottons on harmonica and Otis Spam is on piano. Johnny Young himself, he was born in 17 and passed in 74. And he plays mandolin. And yes, he's the first blues player, or one of the only blues players to put mandolin onto a blues album, and that's what he does. He was one of the first ones to go electric in Chicago. After the war, he was one of the very first to record, and again, with electric. He retired in the 50s, though. He just didn't see things were going right. But in the 60s, during that blues resurgence over in the UK, they got him to come out of retirement. And thus we have this album. And this is just full throttle, straight ahead blues. That's what you're going to get. His voice is very smooth, very nice. There's just cool songs like Wild Wild Woman and Have a Ball. Just awesome stuff. He's the only blues artist that was successful using a mandolin in the stuff. This is a nice original. And there's the vinyl. You can see you probably used to be in the library by the copy of that, and I just missed putting it in the thing. Oh, I think there's something else in here too. What else do we have? I thought I saw something. Nope. I'm just crazy. That's okay. So yeah, some great blues from Chicago. Probably not. It's not the most expensive album in the world, but it's Chicago blues, and that's just the best blues there is. So there we have it.
Right around New York City, right around Chicago town. When you got back here, it ain't even pay me no more. You just a wild woman, and you just from Tennessee. I'm not so Johnny Young, just a devil and bowman.
So yeah, there we go. I did that pretty damn good, didn't I, this week? Bam, bam, bam. Got you through it. But you got your samples, and that's what's important. Appreciate everyone, as always, for tuning in and being a part of this and lasting like a half hour. Awesome. You're able to stick at things, stick to it, so congratulations on that. Many people would just turn it off. Thanks everyone. Have a great week, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.